Hey everyone, welcome back to Homestead Corner. Today I want to talk about a couple of things we can do to help us before hyperinflation arrives. Right now we're seeing prices rising and they're kind of just slowly going up. Some things are jumping. If you look at lumber, you can see that it has doubled and tripled for some lumber pieces and is just so expensive right now. And then also, your food is gradually going up, and we can see all of this happening. And this is just part of a sign that we are going into hyperinflation. We're not seeing it yet, but I'm pretty sure it's coming. You can see it coming down the road. It is just everything that's going on is just brewing this perfect setting for hyperinflation. So, with the government just printing off money out of thin air, and they keep throwing money at the economy, all these stimulus packages, and now they've got another one they're coming out with. And, I get that people need help and all that stuff, and it's great, but all this throwing it in, the more they throw in, the less our money is worth. That's why the prices are going up, because our money just isn't worth what it used to be. And inflation happens, but when something like this happens, we've got this whole disaster in our country with the pandemic, people out of work, the economy's just a disaster. And, all this money being thrown in constantly is just making our money worth less and less and less. And with the gas prices rising, some people have only seen 50 cents or so per gallon. Other people, we are just about at $1 a gallon. Our gas has gone up. In just a few months, it has really risen. And as this keeps snowballing, the gas goes up, it costs more to truck supplies, it costs more to make the supplies, everything costs more. So the price is rising and rising, and the money worth less is just perfect for hyperinflation. And we have got a storm brewing that we need to prepare for right now, and we're running out of time because we're starting to see the jumps are getting a little bit bigger, and I think that's an indicator of what's to come. So I've got a few items that I think are top priority for us right now, and I think that everybody should be looking at these to help fight off this hyperinflation. We all should have our pantries chalked as full as humanly possible. If reorganize it, see if you can fit more in there. If it's not filled, get it full. With the prices rising, it's just saving you money in the long run. You can eat this food later. If nothing happens, then you've got food and you won't have to buy groceries for a while. That's how it goes. But if you're not stocking up on food right now, and 6 months from now a loaf of bread is $25 or $75, you're not going to be able to afford it. A bag of rice might be $8 right now, and it may be $50 in a couple of months. We just don't know exactly how fast this is going to go, or exactly, we don't know when it's going to exactly happen, but you can see it coming. I think we all can see it coming, and I think food is the number one priority. And I think it's important to keep 6 or 12, 18 months of canned goods and things like that, dry goods in your pantry. If you have the space for it, get as much as you can in there, because once hyperinflation starts, it's not going to go away anytime soon. Another thing that we could be doing right now is, if you are able to, or if you don't already have a piece of land is going to hold its value, and you can grow food on your land, you can get firewood from your land. There is so much you can do if you have a piece of land. So even if it's not a big piece of land, if it's yours, you can use it and work on it, and you can live there if anything happens to the place that you're in now. And so I think land is another one of those things. And the price, land prices kind of go up and down, but they really retain their value over the long haul. I mean, if we go through a huge hyperinflation, once things level out on the other end, hopefully things would level out on the other end, and hopefully we'll be here to see it. But, once that happens, then it's really going to retain its value. And people are snapping up land like crazy. I know here in Maine, the housing market, houses are selling just as fast as they can get them on the market because people are trying to get out of the city and get on their own piece of land. And I think that is an important thing. If you don't have land and you could possibly get a piece of land, I think that is something you really should look into because it will hold its value over time, and it will give you a resource for products that you are going to need. Food, heat, things like that. If you can find a piece of land with water on it, I would definitely go for that. The next thing I think that we should really be stockpiling and looking at is seeds. And we should be getting the ground ready, even if you're growing in containers, getting those together, starting seeds. We need to do that right now. If we wait until we're in the middle of some crisis, you can't just throw seeds outside and expect them to grow. It's not going to happen. They do take a little bit of care. Start your compost, start saving your coffee grinds and, all your scraps and stuff like that. Start a compost pile out back. Even in an apartment, you can usually do some kind of compost out back, or something like that if there's a little yard or something. And compost is really great for your garden. It's going to give it the nutrients that the seeds need, and it's going to help you grow food. And I think starting right now, if you can start today start some seeds. Get ready because we're going to need this. I really feel like the end of summer, it's going to be harder and harder to get the nutritious foods that we need. And if you're growing it, you'll have it and you can preserve it for winter. The next thing that I think we should all be stocking up on is fuel. Gasoline and stuff like that is not going to last forever, but you're going to need it, and we can only store so much. I mean, you only have so many gas cans and so much space to store stuff. So I think gas, diesel, propane, firewood for your home. We just ordered the 6 cords of log length wood. This is all of next year's heat. We know that we're going to have plenty. We order 6 cords of log lengths a year, and then we cut and split it. It saves us a bunch of money. And we only burn about 5 cords probably to heat our home for the whole winter. And we have a few extra cords this year, but I didn't want to order less because it's going to go me that much longer. I wanted to at least order what I always order, and I got what I could for the money I had on hand. And so we've got our wood. We know next winter at least we're going to be warm, if nothing else. And there are a bunch of things that you really could be stocking up on. These are just a few, and I have one more that I think is awful important as well, and that is silver and gold. If you have any extra dollars, I mean, definitely go ahead and get the other things first. Get your fuel, get your food first. Get the food, as much food as you can. But if you have extra dollars, I mean, some of us got stimuluses and others still have it coming on the way. And if you've got any extra money in there, getting a little bit of silver or gold and putting it away, it retains its value, even through hyperinflation and stuff like that. It is going to retain its value, and you're going to have something that you'll be able to get. You'll be able to use that to trade or whatever. You can trade it in when you're ready, when you are absolutely, you have to have it. I think it's a great way to go, and it really retains its value over the years, and it doesn't, bottom out like the currency does in a lot of countries. When countries collapse, their currency just collapses. I mean, and it's cheaper to wipe your butt with money than toilet paper at that point. So having a little bit to fall back on, if you've got a couple hundred or a couple thousand, that you could invest and you won't, be taking away from anything else. I think the silver and gold are super important. And if you can, and I know not everybody has that kind of extra money, but with the stimulus money that they're giving you, if there is some extra, it's not a bad investment. I mean, you may not get rich off it, but it will hold its value over time. And I think that's really important. And we're looking more at long-term stuff right now. And I think everybody should be looking at that. It's just everything around us is just so crazy. The supply chain is so fragile and messed up. And we need to be prepared to really step up and do it ourselves. And that's it for today. I just wanted to talk about a few things, just a little food for thought for, our day. There's always something. It's a changing world out there. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.